Guys, hear me out on this, okay? Life does not have to be this complicated. And really, I don't think life is supposed to be complicated at all. The older I get, the more I'm starting to realize the goal in life is to keep things as simple as possible in everything that we do. And what happens is the problem that we have is we tend to complicate things and we call it progress. But complicating stuff is not really progress. It ultimately is just more chaos, leads to more stress. And nowadays, if you take a step back and you look at modern life has become loud. It's become expensive, overstimulating, complicated, and full of a bunch of opinions, right? And I think a lot of people get tired of that life that we're living. This is why you always see people nowadays say they long for those simpler times back in the 80s or 70s or 90s, right? People, in my opinion, aren't just physically tired right now, but they're mentally tired. People are emotionally tired, and people are definitely financially tired, right? People are basically overwhelmed because everything today feels like you got to have more and got to get more and you got to be more, right? Think about it for a second, right? We get more and more notifications on our cell phones, right? Heck, we even get more of a phone, right? There was a time when a cell phone was simply to talk to people. But nowadays, this cell phone can do almost anything, right? I got a flashlight on here. I got the internet. I got a camera. I can take movies and record movies. I can take pictures. Some people know my location. I got a microphone on here. Definitely got access to all the social media, and not to mention all of the apps we have on our phone, right? That adds another 50 or 60 different tasks that we can do just with a cell phone. Everybody nowadays also has more subscriptions. We got more bills. We got more debt. We got more pressure. We got more noise. We got more comparing ourselves to other people that, ultimately that leads to more envy, more jealousy, and that ends up leading to more depression, right? Look, turn on or log into your social media account and you see people comparing their real lives to fake highlights, the ESPN highlights that you scroll on all day long. Some people are trying to keep up with lifestyles that they can't afford. People are trying to buy things that they really don't even need or don't even use just to maybe impress other people or to feel a certain way, right? And honestly, guys, I think that a lot of people secretly want pretty much the same thing. Less chaos, less stress, less clutter in their lives. We all want less pressure because I think, this is my opinion, and our spirit knows that complexity is creating stress for all of us. Think about it. We probably got too many accounts. We got too many financial products. We got too much clutter around us every day in our house, too much stuff. Now, how many of you got something in your house right now that you literally never use? Most of us do. We all have something that's sitting around our house, around us physically, that we probably need to get rid of, right? Let me know in the comments below if I'm talking to somebody out there or if you can relate. We got too much stuff and we got too much bombarding and hitting our mental every single moment of every day. And then we wonder why we can't get no sleep at night. Why we can't shut off our brains to go to bed and get some good rest, right? We just got more and more and more till it becomes almost mental overload on the brain. And what happens to all of us is that ultimately we start craving, and I believe this is what we do. We start craving simplicity. It's like, think about it like this. When you've been sitting down too long, right? Sitting in a chair too long at work or whatever, and your body is telling you that you need to get up. You need to move around, right? You need to go walk. Same thing happens to us mentally. A lot of us, we know that we got too much going on in our brains. And we're starting to realize that peace has a huge value that we don't talk about enough. Being clear or clarity has a huge value that we just don't talk about enough, right? Space. Having space around us instead of having so much stuff. There's a huge value in that too. And let's talk about money for a second, because I think this same idea applies directly to our personal finances and to investing. A lot of people have overcomplicated their finances. They have too many accounts. They have too many apps. I know people right now who on their cell phone, and this could be you, okay? They got 2 different banks. They got 2 different bank apps. They have a budgeting app. They have a retirement app. They have a couple of investing apps. They have a savings app. They have a debt management app. They have a debt payoff app. Then they have a money management app. And it's like, why do we need all of these different apps or things? Really? Do we really need all that? Sometimes people have too many strategies, too many goals for their money, right? Too many, listening to too many financial gurus on YouTube telling them to constantly chase the next hot stock tip or the next this, the next that. But here's the deal. Honestly speaking, for real, simple still works. I do my budget on a simple spreadsheet, and I got 9 or 10 different sources of income. So all you need is a simple budget on a simple spreadsheet. It doesn't have to be super complicated with the apps. It doesn't have to. Simple investing too. All you need is a few ETFs, 3 or 4 ETFs, 2 or 3 index funds, 1 index fund, right? All you need is to keep this thing simple. Simple long-term plans, 1 or 2 clear goals and clear action steps that you got to follow to actually try to achieve each financial goal. Here's the thing that most people don't get, and that is that consistency matters way more than complexity. Just do a few things really well when it comes to life or when it comes to your money. Most people don't need 47 different financial products to build wealth. You just don't. You don't need 9 different apps on your phone to manage life. All that becomes is just extra clutter, extra noise. You ever have an argument with somebody and they believe in their heart of hearts that because they're the loudest person, they must be the most right person? Or they totally confuse being the flashiest in the room with being the best or having the most money? Same thing with all this extra noise we got around us when it comes to life. Listen, a lot of people would improve their finances today, right now, just by reducing some bad debt, just by spending a little less money, just by automating their investing so they ain't got to think about it every single month, right? Dollar cost average. Some people would do well, much better than they are with their personal finances if they simply focused on long-term consistency, the simple stuff, the basics, the fundamentals. And that'll help you avoid all these emotional financial decisions and just do less. A lot of times, less is a whole lot more. See, what happens is people think with money, activity is progress. I got to do this, I got to do that, right? It's not. Sometimes progress is simply continuing to do what you always been doing. Continuing to go in the same direction without giving up or quitting. Even investing, people make investing so overcomplicated. They think they got to keep trading stuff, and they think they got to constantly react to everything that the market does, right? Or they got to react to what's going on in the Middle East, or they got to predict the market, right? What's going to happen next week? What's going to happen next month? And then they got to buy this, then they got to buy that, and then they got to invest in some crypto over here and get some of this hot stock over here so they don't miss out on that. Meanwhile, some of the wealthiest people on the planet, they just been investing consistently for decades, not trying to sit up here and pick the hot stock. Index funds, dollar cost averaging, patience, and discipline. See, at a certain point, you start realizing as you grow a little older here, at least for me, that more and bigger is not necessarily better. Okay? More possessions, more stuff, right? All that does is it leads to more maintenance. It leads to more stress. It leads to more bills. It leads to more things that you ultimately got to worry about. More financial pressure. Now, listen, I'm not saying don't have fun. We all want to have fun, right? But don't have so much fun that you end up with no money to pay for your essentials when you get to be 70 years old. Don't have so much fun today with experiences that you regret it down the road when you get older. Look, I really thinking this is just me. Let me know if you agree, okay? I think a lot of people are starting right now, today, to rethink what success actually looks like. Because freedom, in my opinion, freedom is starting to become more valuable than stuff in a lot of people's lives that I talk to. Freedom is starting to become more valuable than having a whole bunch of everything, right? Peace is really starting to become more valuable than some of the luxuries out here. People say, I just want peace of mind. I just want to be, mentally stable, right? And in a good place. Some people are downsizing. Let's be real. Downsizing their homes, downsizing their cars, and simplifying or downsizing schedules, right? Some people, and I've seen some people, and this may be you, are stepping away from this constant consumption mindset. And let's be real, that's a good thing, right? Because modern life, man, it can become exhausting when everything is built around constantly trying to upgrade this and upgrade that, and then you comparing yourself with other people, then you looking at other people on social media. A lot of times, less baggage, really, ultimately, it creates more freedom for you. But the biggest thing people are searching for nowadays is that peace of mind. I think a lot of people are trying to protect their mental health nowadays. People want to protect their peace. They want to protect their energy. They want to protect their focus. They want to protect who's around them nowadays more so than ever before. And I think that's a good thing, right? Because there's negativity everywhere. We've seen it, right? Online arguments. Somebody could start an argument in the comments of this video right here. People are mad. People are constantly angry at the world nowadays, right? People are doom scrolling, hoping other people fail, being very toxic. And I think some of that is because we have just more stuff. And sometimes when you have more stuff, you lose the understanding of what's really important in life. And after a while, what happens is all of that stuff drains you. The older I get, the more I realize that you have to earn my energy. You have to earn my attention, right? Just because you do something ignorant or something stupid doesn't mean I'm going to pay attention to you. Because a lot of times people do stuff, whether it be social media or not on social media, because they want attention. But guess what? You got to earn my attention, right? Just because you're needy and you need attention, it don't mean you get to drain me so I go pay attention to you being a fool. Those days are over. Look, I help people. I'm a helper. I'm a giver to other people, but I'm people too. And if I don't take care of me, what good am I going to be to you or the world out there? That's kind of how I look at it. Sometimes simplifying our lives is going to mean spending less time online, right? Flat out. It's going to mean reducing some of the negative influences around us, maybe changing our circle of friends, or for me personally, right? Maybe it might mean avoiding unnecessary drama and avoiding the people who breathe drama. We know people like that. They need drama like they need oxygen. And so everything becomes an issue. Everything becomes a problem. Everything becomes an argument. Everything becomes a confrontation, right? We know people like that. But simplifying your life means creating quiet time for you and disconnecting from some of this noise that's out here. Here's what I found about America. Everybody wants you to be in a state of panic, a state of emotional chaos. And what happens is people capitalize off this state of you being constantly nervous, scared, panicked, stressed out, anxious, emotional. If they can scare you, if they can make you angry, if they can instill some fear in you, make you sad, make you happy, or get you to be in a perpetual state of chaos in your mind, people get paid off that. People become millionaires off of scaring you and putting more stress and anxiety in your life. Look, let me just say this. Peace is becoming a luxury in this modern life. So whatever you do, whatever you watch, whatever you listen to, whatever apps you have on your phone, you better hold on to your peace. Get some if you don't have it. Real conversations, real relationships, real experiences, and real quiet. Not all this constant stimulation around you. You don't need it. Keep things simple, right? I think simplicity should exist in every area of our life. Simple finances, simple investing, simple routines, everyday routines, simple goals, simple relationships. I don't like drama, right? So I want a simple schedule. That don't mean don't have no ambition to strive. I'm not saying that at all. Simple don't mean small and unimportant. Simple just means you stop trying to impress everybody. You stop chasing every trend. You stop chasing every consumer or consumption item that you can put near you to feel a certain way. You stop adding, here's a big one. You stop adding unnecessary complexity to your life. You stop emotionally responding to everything going on around you. And you focus on what actually matters, right? You focus on priorities that bring you more peace, priorities that bring you more clarity, more freedom, more purpose in your life. So in my personal opinion, a simple life is a real wealthy life. More ain't always better. Usually less is more and less is better. I just wanted to share this quick thought with you guys. I appreciate you hanging out with me, and if you got value from this quick video, share this video with somebody in your circle of good people. Drop me a comment below and let me know your thoughts. Remember, the best person who's going to take care of that old you is the young you. Until the next video, peace.